Okay, guys, so let's start. Let me share the document with you. Did you have some time to work on it?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, that's great.
sure.
So, what do you think in general? What do you think? Was it easy? Was it difficult? Normal?
I'll say easy.
It's normal. It's easy.
Oh,
Easy, normal. All right. Okay. So before we start, let me just take the write your names here in my list so I can manage the participation. Okay, so we have Abdul Wadud is here, Ahmed is here, Monsef is here. What's that profile picture about?
Marshmallow.
DJ Marshmallow?
Yeah.
Is that your
I
favorite
put it
DJ?
a long time ago.
Okay,
Didn't change it.
why don't you put a picture of your face so we can see your haircut and how you look now after the lockdown? Okay, Mariam here. And Lubaba is joining. Mariam, did you have a chance to work on the exam I sent you? Anyway. Okay, guys, so let's start. So some of you found that this was an easy exam, right? And the others said it was a little bit challenging. So this exam is for okay, guys, please mute your audio. If you want to say something, you can unmute yourself. Please mute your audio, and if you want to speak, then you can unmute yourself and speak, right?
Okay.
Like this, it's a little noisy. Oh, Blue Dude is here. Hello.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm fine.
Great.
And you?
I'm all right. So far, so good. Okay, guys. So this exam, as you can see, is the normal session of 2018. Okay, a couple of years ago, and this is the national exam, of course. The first thing that you do, let's talk a little bit about some logistics. The first thing that you do when you get your exam paper in front of you is what?
Read the text.
Before you read the text, there are some important things that you should do.
Write name.
Write your name.
Well, yes. Before writing your name on your exam sheet, you have to make sure that you have the right exam. Okay, so always, I mean, this looks a little cheesy, but anyways, you should always make sure that this is the national exam and the year that you're in, and this is the normal session and not the makeup session. Of course, you need to look at your stream, okay, and make sure that this is the right stream. Okay, your science, so it should say science stream over here. Okay, also check the time that you have. Okay, so you can better manage your time, right? So you have 2 hours to complete this exam. Another important point here is what you have in the top left corner. Okay, it says page 1 of 5. Make sure that you have the complete
papers.
Yeah, so you have all the pages that you have here. So if this says 5, you need to go and check whether you have 5 pages and whether any pages are repeated. Okay, sometimes there are some photocopying problems and you know, things like that happen, right? So once you check this and you get this out of the way, then of course you have to write your name and you have to write your exam number. Okay, very important. Now, let's dive in. Let's go directly to the exam itself. Of course, we have a text, right? We have a couple of pictures. We'll talk about this in more details a bit later. And here you go. This is the answer sheet, you will be answering, most likely, you'll be answering on this piece of paper. So you have to write your exam number here, okay? If you forget this, it's a problem. So please make sure you write your exam paper here, or exam number there. Of course, your family name and first name and your date of birth, okay?
Yeah.
No writing here. Do not write anything here, okay? So once you're checking whether you have your, well, this is the first section. I'm having problems with my mouse, so please bear with me. Okay, let me clear this. So, if you look at this exam, how many sections does it include?
Maybe 3.
3 is
6.
correct.
Sorry.
3 is correct. Okay, the first section is
Comprehension, and then grammar, and then writing.
15 points.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, the comprehension section is also divided into subsection exercises. Exercise A, B, C, and D. E, F. So, with this exercise, F section. The next section is the language section, which is also out of 15 points. The exercises that here are exercise A, B, C, D, E, and F again. Okay, so same number of exercises if you noticed, right?
Yeah.
You have writing, and in writing, you have 2 tasks, okay? Task number 1 and task number 2. They try to divide tasks a little bit and compartmentalize, so they make your job a little bit easier, okay? So, which section would you start with? Which section would you start with?
Comprehension.
Language.
Lubaba started with language, and then
Comprehension, and then writing.
okay, language, comprehension, writing. And how did that go?
Good.
Good. Did you finish on
Fast.
time?
Yeah.
Wonderful. How about the others? How about you, Monsef? What did you start with?
I started with the comprehension, then the language, then the writing.
Okay, so you followed the order of the exam.
Yeah.
How about the others? Ahmed?
I started by the comprehension, then language, then writing.
Okay, so Lubaba, is Lubaba the only one who started with a different section than comprehension?
I think, yeah.
Yes, okay. Well, you know, I'm not surprised. Not surprised. Lubaba likes to do things differently. But anyway, there is no order, specific order that you have to follow here. If you want to start with comprehension, you can do that. If you want to start with language, you can do that. A lot of students start with writing, okay? For me, it's better. I prefer to start with comprehension and then move on to language and then finish with writing. For the main reason, or the simple reason, that I like to work in a linear order, okay?
Yeah.
But you know, people are different. Some people like to start with writing and an expressive exercise and then move on to language, etc. So it doesn't really matter. There is no specific order here, right? Just make sure that your time is managed well. All right. So let's start with comprehension, since everybody started with comprehension. Let's start with the comprehension section, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, let's see. Now, if you take a look at the comprehension section, another important point that you have to understand here is that you need to understand what kind of question you have, what kind of exercise you have, and what do you need to answer, what kind of information do you need to provide. Of course, all the answers in the comprehension section are taken from the text. Again,
Yeah.
all the answers in this section are based on your answers or based on the text. So base all your answers on the text, okay? So no personal opinions here, right? Everything is in the text.
Yeah.
All right. So before we deal with the comprehension section, let's read the text, right? And analyze it a little bit, all right? So we have two pictures here, and usually pictures are very helpful in terms of understanding written information. So what do you see in those pictures?
A flying car.
In the same time, it's
yeah.
a plane.
So you can see this car in the first picture. How can you describe it? How does it look?
Like a rocket.
Like a rocket, yeah?
Yeah.
Can you describe it using an adjective?
High technology.
High technology, okay. Okay, that's good, but that's not an adjective. What do we call things that look like they come from the future? Now, we don't see these cars around, right?
No.
Yeah.
So this car looks like it's coming
in the future.
It came from the future, so it is a futuristic.
Yeah, futures, yeah.
It's a futuristic. In here. It's a futuristic car, okay? And these cars, because we don't really use them outside, we don't really see them outside, that is, they are considered concept cars. Concept cars. Do you know what that means?
No.
What's a concept car?
I know.
Yeah.
It's like a futuristic car that we can't use it. Not all the
absolutely.
Anyone can buy it, or
yes, not anyone can buy it
in the streets.
And not anyone can buy it because it's not mass produced. It's not produced in large numbers. It's just one or two.
Yeah.
Unit
prototype.
Yes, and these concept cars, they display the technology of the company. Okay, how advanced the company has come. For example, Mercedes has a couple of concept
Vision
cars.
GT Avatar.
Absolutely. Electric cars, high technology, new technology. Now, these are not for production and for people to drive, but maybe in the future. But right now, they are just concept cars. They are there to show the other companies how developed the concept car is, right? Anyway, so this is a futuristic concept car. And picture number 2, we see the same car taking flight.
But flying.
Yes.
Flying.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we can say that this is a flying car. Okay.
Yeah.
It can operate as an airplane and it can operate as a car. Okay. Which is interesting. Right?
Yeah.
All right. So after the pictures, or after you take a look at the photos that you have there, the maybe the next thing to do is to look at the title that we have.
Yeah.
Right? Titles are also important because they give us condensed information. The title here says "Flying Cars: A Dream Come True." Flying cars, because this is a flying car, of course. Why a dream come true?
Because it was a dream one time.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, if you go back 50 or 60 years into the past, and you tell somebody, well, in 2020 they will have flying cars, you know, they will believe you. They will tell you, oh, you're dreaming, you're out of your mind. Okay, so it is a dream, but it has come true. So, if you notice in the text here, you have your paragraphs are already numbered. Okay?
Yeah.
Yes. Why do we number paragraphs?
We divided the paragraph into
divides the ideas.
It divides the ideas. There is one other reason.
And also the structure of the
to help the student to find answers. Like there's some question where the paragraphs are written.
Absolutely.
They're going to find the answers of the question.
And this is important because it saves your time. So you go directly to the number of the paragraph and you look for your answer as opposed to reading the whole or through the whole text. Okay,
Okay.
so we have numbered paragraphs. They make our jobs easier. If we don't have these numbers here, what do you think we should do?
We should
read the
Reduce the
text and then divide it into paragraphs by myself.
it's
Abdul
gonna
Wadud, what
be
did you say?
our job to divide it.
Abdul Wadud, what did you say?
Revise the paragraph.
Yes, we should divide the
revise-
paragraphs. We should write the numbers. If you don't have the numbers here, you write the number using your pencil. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. What else is important here? Or what else stands out in this text? We have some words that are underlined and in bold letters, meaning these words will be, we will be asked about these words, underlined and bold words in the comprehension section. And of course, at the bottom here, we have the reference. So this text or this article was taken from CNN.com. And of course, it's adapted from, meaning changes were made to this article to make it easier for you to read. Okay?
Yeah.
All right, so let's begin. We have 6 paragraphs. Let's begin with paragraph number 1. Read it, try to analyze it, and move on. Let's begin with Ahmed. Ahmed, let's read paragraph 1, please.
Okay. Aeromobile tree is a combination of a plane and a car designed to drive on the road and fly through the air. It can transform in seconds from a car to a plane. This invention of the Slovakian company Aeromobile started to be on sale in 2017.
Yes, so I underline an important sentence here. It can transform in seconds from a car to a plane. What else is important here that we should underline?
A combination of plane and car.
Combination of plane and car. Before that. Yes, this is important, but before that.
Aeromobile 3.0.
Absolutely, the Aeromobile 3.0. Okay, or 3.0. This is the name of this car model here, right?
Yeah.
So this invention of the Slovakian company, Aeromobile, started to be on sale in 2017. So, what else is important here?
Sale on 2017.
Slovakian company.
Yeah, and
Company.
yeah.
Okay. For a car like this, you would assume that a big car company would be responsible for it, like, I don't know, Tesla Motors, Toyota, BMW, Mercedes, whatever, right? But this is a Slovakian company that, you know, have you heard of Aeromobile before?
Never.
Not really.
No.
So this
Just
is,
on Harry Potter?
yes, this is an interesting point here, okay? And of course, this car was on sale, so you could buy it. If you could afford it, you could buy it in 2017.
Yeah.
Okay, very simple.
It's expensive.
Well, how much is it? You don't have any information, right?
No, we do.
Yes, not yet.
Not yet.
6 million.
Let's keep it until we get to it, all right? We don't have any information so far about the price.
Okay.
Let's go to
Okay.
paragraph number 2. All right. Let's have Monsef read, please.
Okay. The concept of a flying car is not new. The idea was popularized in the 1960th century through animated cartoons. This concept was originally brought to life in 1989 by Slovak designer Steven Klein. After years of testing different models, Klein's 20-year dream came true when he set a partnership with the entrepreneur Jurek Vakulek. They co-founded the company Aeromobile in 2010.
Okay, so here we have a bunch of dates. Dates are very important. In fact, we have names, also important.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you have dates and names in a paragraph or a text, you must know what these dates refer to because they are important. Otherwise, they wouldn't be there. The names are also important most of the time, if not all the time, right? So the first date that we have is 1960. Who can explain a little bit more what this is? Umayma.
It's the popularization of this concept of the Aeromobile.
of the flying car.
The flying cars and the
Yeah.
Flying car.
cartoons.
Now look, in this paragraph, number 2, do we have any mention of aeromobile?
No.
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 So here we're talking
No.
about the flying car, and it's 1960 as opposed to 2017 here. So what we're doing in this paragraph is we're going back to
History.
the history of this kind of cars or concept. So
Concept.
the concept became popular. Okay, people started to like it and talk about it and know it more in the 1960s. Why? How?
Animated cartoon.
They were
Animated cartoons.
animated cartoons.
There you go, in animated cartoons. Now, specifically, the animated cartoon, the Jetsons. You know this cartoon?
The yellow human.
No, those are the Simpsons.
What did you say?
I said the Jetsons.
Oh, I don't know the trick.
Okay, well, do you know the Flintstones?
Sorry?
Flintstones?
No.
No? You don't know this cartoon?
Maybe we know it, but you know, we know it by a different name. Maybe we know it, but by a different name.
Okay, let's do some Google search. Can you see the screen?
No, I still see the national
Okay.
exam.
Okay, let me share it.
Now I see it.
So,
Yeah.
the Flintstones. These are the Flintstones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Know them?
I do.
Fred
Yeah.
Flintstone and Company. Okay. The same artist responsible for the Flintstones, and the Flintstones talk about people or prehistorical, you know, primitive people pretty much. Okay, the Stone
Yeah.
Age, the humans. The same guy came up with another
Concept.
animated series, the Jetsons. And the Jetsons are drawn the same way. However, they are set in the future. Okay, so as you can see in these pictures, you see them here riding UFOs. There is a robot here. And remember, at the time, these concepts were very futuristic. Okay,
Yeah.
1962. Okay, September, it started in September 1962. So when the, go back here to our text. So when they're talking about the 1960s, they're talking about specifically this one, the Jetsons, okay, through animated cartoons, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on. 1989, what happened? Nada.
This concept is brought to life
Yes.
by Stephen Klein.
Yes, somebody actually built the flying car, and this guy was the Slovak in relation to Slovakia, Czechoslovakia at the time, designer Stephen Klein. Okay, this is a mechanical designer, okay, or an engineer, not a fashion designer. After years of testing different models, Klein's 20-year dream came true when he set a partnership with the entrepreneur Juraj Veselý, right? They co-founded the company Aeromobile in 2010. So this is the brains. Stephen Klein is the brains.
Yeah.
And the money is the pocket. Okay.
Yeah.
So this guy participated with his ideas, and this guy participated with his money, and they formed a company. Okay, they called it Aeromobile 2010 in 2010. Okay, so let's go to the next paragraph. Paragraph number 1 was a general introduction. Paragraph number 2 was a historical background of the car. Paragraph number 3, let's have Lubaba read paragraph number 3 for us.
Yeah.
Please.
Developing the pleasure. Developing the flying car has not been without difficulties. Aeromobile company faced problems in 2015 when one of its prototypes crashed during a test in Nitra, West Slovakia, sending the pilot to hospital with minor injuries.
Yes. What do we have in this paragraph, Rubella?
When date 2015.
Okay.
Faced problems.
Difficulties.
Yeah.
Difficulties in developing the flying car. What was the difficulty or difficulties?
The prototypes or something.
What do you mean by prototype?
I don't know.
The new type?
Not really. What's a
Maybe the member of I don't know.
What did you say, Umayma?
Like it's gonna be the pilots. No?
It's going to be? Say that again.
Because they said about sending the pilots to hospital. I think the prototypes is like a member of
a prototype.
what we have in.
Is an unfinished.
Yeah.
An
It's like one version of
Yes.
testing.
Yes. Unfinished version of a product. Okay, so prototype meaning the first version. Of course, this version will not be sold. Okay, it's further developed.
Yeah.
So we make prototypes, we test those prototypes to see if they work. If they work, then we take them as a basis, as a model to develop the final product. Okay, so remember this word is very important, especially for you guys who are going into engineering,
science,
stuff like that. Right? Prototypes are very important. Now, if there is an invention that has no prototype, it means it's not an invention. Okay? These days, there is a lot of talking. You see this in social media a lot. You see people who claim that they are inventors, that they invented this and that and the other. But when you tell them, show me your prototype, they have no prototype and they have no plan.
Yeah, like the Moroccan one. I don't remember.
Yes, well, I don't want to say the name because the guy has passed away. May he rest in peace. But that's just an example. That's just an example. Okay, so we have to be very careful here. Okay, no prototype, no plan on paper, no invention. Okay.
No invention.
So remember this word because you will be using it a lot in the future when you start your own inventions. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So prototype crashed. The prototype crashed during a test. Okay, and that's why we have prototypes. We don't have the final product and crash it. It will cost a lot of money. So we start with the prototype, we run tests on it, and if it crashes, then we try to improve. But the problem here is that the person who was driving the car, what happened to this person?
Crashed during the
sent to hospital.
Yes, he was sent to the hospital with minor injuries, so not very major injuries, just minor injuries. Okay? So what do we have in this paragraph? What's the idea here?
Difficulties.
Yes, the difficulties in developing the flying car.
Yeah.
Let me go to Nema for paragraph number 4.
Okay. The year 2016 was a great success for Aeromobile. It marked the introduction of the latest prototype, Aeromobile 3.0, at an international forum in Brussels. The vehicle uses a diesel engine and has wings that fold, which allows it to be parked like a car. So it is nearly 6 meters long. It saves 2 people, the pilot and a passenger. The company says the car's top speed in the road is 116 km/h and 200 km/h while flying. It can fly for 700 kilometers before running out of fuel. What's that word?
Fuel.
Fuel.
The drivers who can buy this luxurious flying car, priced between $1.2 and $1.6 million, will need a pilot license to fly it.
There you go. Okay, very interesting, very, very important paragraph. Okay? And as you noticed, a lot of words and phrases were underlined or highlighted, right? What happened in 2016?
It was a great success for the project.
Okay, so look at the overall organization of the text. Paragraph number 3 talks to us about difficulties. Paragraph number 4 talks to us about a great success. Okay, now of course, before success, pretty much in everything in life, we go through some difficulties. That idea of going through difficulties before getting or reaching success is also
making studies.
Yes, but it's also reflected in the organization of the paragraph, and this is what I want you to know and understand. Okay, why not paragraph 4 here?
Because 3 come before it.
Yes,
difficulties. Yeah, because the prototypes come before the final result.
Well, this is also a prototype. We are still in prototypes here. But the thing is, logically speaking, difficulty first, success second. Right? So this logical sequence was reflected in the organization of the text. That's why we have the paragraph about difficulties first, and then the paragraph about success second. Okay? So when you are doing your writing, you're in the writing section, you have to think about these things, okay? You don't just write whatever. You have to organize, and your organization should be logical. So the text should follow a logical sequence, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So here we have some underlined words that we have to be aware of. Who's building a prototype at home? Where is this noise coming from? Somebody is building something? Please mute your microphone. Okay, so we said 2016, great success. Latest prototype, Aeromobile 3.0. So this is the prototype that will actually work and be mass produced, okay? It was presented in the International Forum in Brussels. International Forum, meaning what?
International conference.
Yes, pretty much. It's like a showroom where you have all the new cars, all the new prototypes. Okay, there are anime forums, there are manga forums, there are car, motorcycle forums, etc. Okay, coffee machine forums, my favorite. Anyway, so the vehicle uses a diesel engine. Not a petrol engine, it's a diesel engine. Okay?
Yeah.
It has wings that fold. It has wings that fold. It allows it, this mechanism allows it